Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 23, and we are really just about, well, probably by the time you watch this video, we are at the 1/3 mark of this challenge. 1/3. Kind of hard to believe already, right? 1/3. We will be at the half point, the halfway point before you know it. While we still have a lot of time and a lot can happen, we got to take advantage each and every day. And do your best, okay? Just do your best, and as always, look for those areas where you can improve, okay? If you're far off, not a problem. It's a journey, okay? But we gotta work on improving, and remember, some is better than none, and you're gonna see results with some, for sure. I mean, it's not like you have to do everything perfectly in order to see results. You're gonna see some results. Obviously, the more you do, the more you're going to see. All right, yesterday I talked about why calories are important when dieting, getting enough calories, right? Happy medium with calories. I'm gonna go through just a few more points on this. So let's do that, and then I'll get back to some questions. All right, so I think I talked about if you get enough calories, you spare protein, and protein, this is a really, really important nutrient because this is really the underlying nutrient for all of your physical recovery, tissue recovery, virtually every recovery system in your body. Your, maybe with the exception of nervous system, although nervous system is still somewhat protein-based for sure. We have to really remember that our immune system, nobody thinks about this, but our immune system is largely protein-based. Okay, if you look at what a lymphocyte is made of, any kind of lymphocyte, if you look at all the underlying structures of the nervous system, it's all just proteins. All right, and this is why, for example, getting or supplementing with something like glutamine is really, really good for your nervous system, among other things, your gut, your brain, etc. All right. So really, we don't want to use protein for energy, right? We want to use it for its role in recovery and other necessary functions around the body, which we'll talk about protein. We'll talk about dietary protein very soon here, okay? Number 8, where do you go when you stall or plateau? The more aggressive you are with dieting, the sooner you're going to plateau, okay? And the sooner that you plateau, what do? You're not where you want to be. You're not at your goal. Well, what do you do? And it's not the same. So taking an aggressive reduction in calories is not the same as taking a stepwise fashion slowly and reaching the same point in terms of end calorie endpoint, right? So just to make this clear to you, you're eating, let's say 2,000 calories, you decide to drop to 1,200. That is very aggressive. You are going to plateau faster than if you go 2,000, 1,850, 1,700, so on and so forth, down to 1,200. Okay, you're gonna get a lot more out of that stepwise fashion than you are out of 1,200, okay? And I would never recommend that you make that kind of change, with possibly the exception of somebody who is in getting ready for a physique show, where that would be really just for the point of getting ready for stage, and it would be a very temporary thing, and again, not healthy for you, but may help to get you to that quick endpoint that you need to get to. Number 9. Prevention of stress. Okay, so dieting is a stress. I mean, ultimately, when we go throughout our day, we're always encountering various stresses all day long. The body's always going through some level of stress. This is just part of life. But the thing with calorie restriction is it's an ongoing stress. It doesn't end unless the diet ends, right? Unless the deficit ends. So this has bearing in terms of how intense the deficit is. How much of a deficit are you making? So how much stress do you want to put on the body? And again, like I said, this is a constant stress. So you want to think about things such as your sleep, okay? if you go into a major calorie deprivation, the longer you're doing a calorie deprivation for, the worse the quality of your sleep's going to get. Just guaranteed. You're not going to sleep. Your body is going to be in a sympathetic state. It's going to want to search for food. When I got ready for a contest, this is my last contest I got ready for, and I did one show, and then I had like an 8-week break, and I was getting ready for my next show, so I kind of couldn't really get out of shape. I kind of had to stay there. I did increase my calories, but still, because I was so lean, I couldn't sleep. And when I tell you that I slept a maximum, I think the most I ever got in a day of sleep in those 8 weeks, well, I think it was maybe 7 weeks, was 3 hours, literally. And most nights I was getting an hour and a half of sleep. I didn't even know how I functioned, didn't know how I survived. But definitely as those weeks went on, I was definitely getting run down. Which leads me to my next one, immune system. Okay, this is gonna take a toll on your immune system health. This is gonna take a toll on your metabolic health. Right? Your body is just going to, you're really just setting your body up for body fat, or what we call body fat overshooting, okay? A massive gain in fat afterwards, okay? If you're doing very low calories. Part 4 of number 9 here, nutritional health. We have to think about getting nutrition. It's not just calories. We have to think about things like, fiber and micronutrients and, so micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. We have to think about phytonutrients, right? All these different kinds of nutrients that we're getting that are outside of the micro and the macronutrients. We want to be able to get enough of those. Part 5 of number 9, daily energy. We want a good amount of energy. We don't want less energy. We want a good amount of energy. We want to feel good. We want to minimize that stress, right? The actual cognizant awareness of the stress of being hungry. Workout effectiveness, I talked about this, and recovery. Okay, these go hand in hand. You want to have effective workouts. Nervous system, I already mentioned this, but getting you out of that sympathetic state. If you're in a sympathetic state, you're not going to sleep. Okay, you just won't sleep. Part 8, mood. Okay, that's going to affect your mood, and it's also going to affect your part 9 of this, hormone balance. And there's other things. Okay, this can lead to, if your body fat levels are too low, if your energy intake is too low, if your fat levels in particular are too low over an extended period of time, you're going to negatively affect your hormone balance. All right, number 10 of the 10 reasons why you want to keep calories at you want to minimize your deficit. You want to decrease your chances of, talked about this already because these points have overlap, of course. We want to minimize the chances of fat regain. And this is, as I've mentioned in previous videos, this is something that happens with people who do these major calorie deprivations over time, or what we call yo-yo dieting. So people that have dieted, and then they diet, and then they fall off the diet, they end the diet or whatever. They go back, or they don't diet, they just go back to whatever they were doing before. And then what happens over time with body fat is it tends to, so you go through these ups and downs of body fat, but if you were to track it over time, we see that body fat just tends to go higher and higher and higher. All right. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I do want to talk about the importance of things like dietary protein, dietary carbohydrates, dietary fat. I'll talk about that in future videos. Let's go to your questions. So let me just wrap up this person's questions that I was reading over the last couple days, okay? More information on heart rate, resting heart rate, upper heart rate throughout the day, and if that can help with progress as well as how steps play a role in overall success. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this, for your heart rates, focus, be mindful of this when you're doing your cardio. As for the rest of the day, don't worry about trying to get your heart rate up, but be aware of your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or what we call NEAT. Be aware of that, okay? Or just think of it as non-exercise. Just try to not sit in a chair all day, okay? Get out and do stuff, go for walks. Do stuff that's low intensity, but it still requires energy, okay? Non-exercise activity, washing dishes, cleaning the house, vacuuming, whatever, working on your car, gardening, going for walks, whatever it is, playing with your dog. In terms of people's resting heart rate, this varies a lot. And of course, once you start to get into your not upper age range, but once you get to middle age and higher, your resting heart rate can get quite high, 60 to 100. This is not uncommon. I'm totally loving additional comments. I'm totally loving the program so far. Despite not being perfect with it, I feel I am benefiting from the container, and I have seen some subtle changes in my body already. I'm benefiting from the container. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure which container you're referring to. Hopefully it's one of the containers that I promote. I look forward to continuing to improve as I go forward and learning more. Big thanks to coaches Mark and Martina. Also, apologies for not getting this in today. So I somehow missed part of the email and reread it. I got it now. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind words. And if you want to give any critical feedback as we go through, please feel free to do so. I don't take it personally. Well, I tell myself not to take it personally. I mean, ultimately, we need critical feedback. But thank you for your nice words. And listen, I'm getting through these. I'm well behind here. This is number, I think, 37. There are duplicates in here. I know that. So just bear with me. I will get to your question and keep sending them in. Okay, so even if I haven't answered your questions, please just keep sending them in so I can get to them. Because, inevitably what happens with this program too is, and this shouldn't happen, but it does, feedback goes down over time. I'm already at 12 minutes. Okay, let's get the message of the day. Really? Seriously, I gotta have a timer. I think that's what I need to do. I'm gonna set myself up a timer. And you would think after doing probably 1,000 videos, I think if you look on my YouTube, I've probably done 1,000 videos or close to, somewhere around there. And still, I'm a slow learner. All right, I guess I do enjoy doing these videos though. I do. On this day 23. Behind every successful person, there are a lot of unsuccessful years. Behind every successful person, there are a lot of unsuccessful years. And I will tell you, even as your coach, even in this realm of what I am promoting and trying to help you with, I look back even a couple of years ago, and think, wow, okay, I changed my mind on that, It's a continuum, it's a journey, just like this 70 days is a journey. I don't like to look at it as unsuccessful and then successful. Of course, we just kind of want to look at everything as a spectrum. Maybe with a program like this, we can look at success versus maybe not being so successful. But ultimately, what we want to look at is trying to improve, okay? And in this case here, when you see somebody who, quote, is successful in your mind, chances are, more often than not, almost always, they've gone through so many unsuccessful years. I have been working in this realm pretty intensely since I've been 18. So, and I am still a student, and there is so much I have to learn, right? So things take a lot of time, and the way to get good at things is to keep working at them. All right, so keep going, and just remember, you might see somebody who's successful, you might see somebody at their pinnacle, but it's taken a lot of time and a lot of unsuccessful moments, or however you want to term them. Okay, definitely a lot of obstacles and falls, etc. That people that you might consider to be successful have gone through to get to that point, right? Be patient, keep working at it. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. See ya.